So here's an article in CNN.com written by Stephanie Bizzari, and it was posted on March 20th. Pope Francis asks forgiveness for church role in Rwandan genocide. So, a quick history lesson. The Rwanda genocide happened in 1994. The president of the Hutus, which was an ethnic group, died in a plane crash, and then the Hutus went on a mass killing of over 800,000 Tutsis, which was another ethnic group. And it was awful. Clinton was in office at the time, and I've heard him in interviews talk about the reports just kept, and the death toll kept raising so much that he was like, it was overwhelming. And he has said he maybe should have reacted more. Yeah. And the Catholic Church, there was some churches that turned away Tutsi refugees. There were Catholic priests who were involved, like some of them were even brought up on trial by the UN as they were somewhat involved in this, or they at the very least just stood by and did nothing. So I don't know. I give Pope Francis, I guess he's a, progressive Catholic pope, if that's a term you can even use. I guess he's doing this. The Catholic Church has, I don't know how they still think they have any sort of moral high ground on anything. The covering up of the priests who were, raping children, the pedophile priests, and they knew about it and covered them up and just shipped them off. And a lot of them in the States and in Europe, they sent over to Africa. That's what the Catholic Church did. They didn't prosecute them. They just sent them over to African countries because it's easier for priests to do whatever the hell they want in a poor country. And then this is another great thing the Catholic Church has done. I say this as a guy that is Irish and was raised Catholic. So I was raised Irish Catholic. So I'm pretty critical of this church. And I have friends of mine that still practice Catholicism. That's their right. But I am not a fan of this church, nor will I ever be. So this goes into the current Rwandan president, Paul Kagame, met with the Pope. And during a meeting with Kagame Monday at the Vatican, the Pope expressed solidarity with the victims and those who continue to suffer the consequences of those tragic events. I'm sure that helps, I'm solidarity. Great. Pope Francis acknowledged that the priests, nuns, and members of the Catholic Church had succumbed to hatred and violence in Rwanda, betraying their own evangelical mission, the Vatican said. Yeah, I'll give this Pope credit in the sense that he's at least owning it. He's not trying to double talk his way around it. He's coming straight out and saying that. I'll give him credit at least, and not a lot of credit. But here's his reasoning for why. It allows us to build a stronger base for restoring harmony between Rwandans and the Catholic Church. Why? Why would you do that? She added in a statement, this is the Rwanda's foreign minister, Louise Mushikiwabo. Forgive me for mispronouncing that name. Rwandan bishops asked for forgiveness for sins of hatred and disagreement that happened in the country to the point of hating our own countrymen because of their origin. Catholic priests were doing this. This is why, the Hutu attackers, they burned down churches with hundreds of thousands of Tutsis inside. The violence was triggered, as I said. 4 Catholic priests were indicted by the UN in a tribunal for the role in the genocide in 2001. Among them was a Rwandan Catholic priest, Athanasi Serombo, who was sentenced to life imprisonment for actively participating in the massacre of around 2,000 Tutsis who sought protection in his church. So, And the group African Rights said that there's overwhelming evidence that church leaders maintain their silence in the face of the genocide, according to a 1998 report. They argued that the small number of indictments do not accurately represent the church's role in the genocide. So here we go. This is the Catholic Church being the Catholic Church. Few bad apples. They're playing the few bad apples card, like they did that with the pedophile priest. Couple of bad apples, and oh, that's bad. But let's restore our faith and everybody come back to the church. Why the fuck would anyone come to the Catholic Church? I mean, I've got to be square with you. And I'm the first, as I've said, I think on this show, my brother and I are the first men on my mom's side of the family not to go to Notre Dame. Like, that's how Irish Catholic we were. But the Catholic Church is such bullshit, and the Catholic Church wants the connection, and because the Catholic Church still needs power. They're an institution just like the Republicans or the Democrats or anything else. They just want to have control and power. So you may not know this, but the confessional was created, I think, in the 14 or 1500s, maybe earlier. Forgive me if my date isn't accurate, but the reason why the confessional was created so the Catholic Church could keep tabs on people. So you come into the confessional and you say, oh, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And now the Catholic Church knows, oh, this guy's cheating on his wife, she's having an affair, this guy's stealing from his company, and they use that's power and manipulation. That's all that they're doing. So, I appreciate Pope Francis for at least owning it, I guess. And this is the world we live in. Everyone's a liar who won't admit a goddamn thing. So a guy admitting something is like, wow, that's so great, which it isn't. It's like showing up on time for your job doesn't get you a gold star. It's just that's what's required of you. And Catholic missionaries, I'm sure, yeah, they've done some good work and stuff like that. But really, they're about implementing their doctrine and their thought process, and they have had much success going into third world countries and jamming their agenda down that culture's throat, and this is what happens. And then they participate in a genocide. The Catholic Church couldn't even speak out against the war in Iraq. Thou shalt not kill. I thought that's thou shalt not kill unless they're terrorists. Then it's okay. So I don't buy this at all, and it's probably more bullshit by CNN, just trying to show, oh, the Catholic Church is coming around, because who knows, I'm sure half of the people that run CNN are probably Catholics or something like that. So I don't trust them. It's a mafia, and it's bullshit, and they should be held accountable. And if you're a Catholic and you're offended by this, and you get something out of, I get church, I get fellowship, I understand that, and I even have a friend of mine who's a Catholic priest. He's married. He's not like the old school kind, but yeah, man, I don't know that I can get down with this stuff. I have a big problem with the Catholic Church. If you get something out of going to church, good for you, but be suspect, because they're another big organization with a lot of money and a lot of power, and they don't like seeing their money and their power getting eroded. That's what a lot of this is about. Like it, subscribe, share, and stay vigilant. And also visit the Patreon link, which is below, because when you donate, you support independent media. And no one's going to tell me what I cannot say on this show. And you guys keep it that way. Thanks.